Hello, and welcome to a chat. You'll have to excuse my partially gone voice. I was in Austin for the past week, screaming and yelling at the Counter-Strike 2 Major. So if there are any Counter-Strike fans here, then hello, you're not alone. It's been a minute since I made a video, so I thought that I would just, get up, share some thoughts. I don't think this is going to be anything crazy or too long. And I honestly am coming into this not even really knowing what I want to talk about. I always have a lot of things on my mind and like a lot of things that I'm thinking about, but I don't know. Maybe for some reason what's coming to my mind right now is failure. And I guess I can't think of the word, but like not consistency, but the certainty of failure. Yeah, I think that's it. The certainty of failure. And I feel like lately I've gone through a few failures with this whole process. Going on vacation is always hard. And I mean, that's not really an excuse. People go on vacation all the time. I tried to continue my routines as best as I could. But I think just in general, like failure and did I say the consistency? The certainty. And the certainty of it, it's big and it's hard and it's going to happen no matter what you do. And I think that through a lot of this, part of my favorite thing has been like learning to forgive myself a little bit more so that it doesn't become a crippling failure, a debilitating failure, so that I recover from this failure, and maybe it even makes me a little stronger. Because I think that we get into this mindset, or at least I have, for pretty much every time I've tried to do something like this, every time I've tried to change or align myself with the values that I'd like to have, or the virtues, or whatever, the morals, I guess. Every time I do this, it's like I always have really strong starts, and I think this is a pretty common theme, is people have really strong starts to these types of things. Also, I'm past day 100, and I'm still considering myself like I'm still. At first, it was like this journey was really grounded in like not drinking and not smoking, which it still is in a sense, but I did both of those things on vacation, and so then it was like, okay, 100 days of consistently going to the gym, which is still a thing too. But again, over vacation, that kind of was harder. So now it's kind of turned into like 100+ days of aligning myself. Like it's not like a streak. I mean, it is a streak, but it's not like a hard set. Like if I do something wrong, if I fail, then the streak is over, right? And the days are done. And this was for naught. See, and that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like through this process, it's been, at first it was like that. It was, if I do smoke, or if I drink, or if I don't go to the gym, or if I don't remember my Russian, if I don't practice it, then I failed. And or if I don't journal, but now it's kind of evolving into I'm not letting a day not count, I guess, even if it isn't a great day, because I'm still like counting the days since the change began, right? Like that is now the ticker. which is, some people might say like, well, that just doesn't make sense. Are you really working towards anything? And yeah, definitely am. Definitely am more in control than I feel like I was 100 days ago of my mentals. And that's not to say that days aren't still hard, because as I've said before, the days are hard and some days are a lot harder than others. But I definitely feel these habits way more ingrained, way easier than like day 30, day 20, day 70 even. It's like I can get up in the morning now, and it's more like there has to be a reason for me not to get up and go to the gym, or there has to be a reason. Like the boats are burned as far as um, the old habits are concerned, and it takes some mindful effort to rebuild those boats and to set sail for places that I don't want to go anymore. Um, yeah, so that's kind of a lot of rambling to say that failure is it's not an option, it's a certainty, and that's okay, because we're people, and like I know in myself especially, like I try to be these like optimized like process, and I try to be, the best version of myself every single day. Like that for the first 80 or so days, it was like 70 maybe. It was like become this optimized version, but at the same time be so hard on yourself when you're not, that it was a little draining. And it's shifted a little bit, and it's still hard for me, and I'm still of course trying to hold myself to these high standards, because I think that that's the whole point of this, is aligning myself morally to who I'd like to be, to someone who I can be proud of, and my future family can be proud of, and my current family can be proud of, um, but really just myself, like, because it's that identity alignment that I've talked about before that I think is key. Um, and I failed a few times, and I will fail a few times more. But getting back up on the horse and deciding that consistent failure, even though failure is consistent, let's phrase it like this: failure can failure is certain. Consistent failure cannot happen, because I feel like you can control consistent failure. And that I even saying that, I get a little bit weary, because it's like life happens sometimes for weeks and months, but I think that that's a fair enough statement to say that like consistent failure cannot be accepted. You have the power to pull yourself out after a day, after an hour, after a week. I think that people have the power, and you and me, like, have the power to pull ourselves back into the habits and the routines that are healthy, and that help us back into that identity alignment. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the message for day 106. I think we are on. Kind of cool. I hope everyone's having a great day. If you made it this far, then good for you. And I hope you're winning all your battles, and know I'm in your corner.